Imagine waking up one morning and realizing the entire blueprint you were handed for life is completely broken. Study hard, get good grades, secure a safe job, and work until you retire. School successfully taught us how to pass exams and memorize history. It trained us perfectly to be functioning gears inside an economic machine, but it completely omitted the manual for building our own wealth. We end up repeating a 40-year loop, waking up to that same alarm, enduring the commute, and draining our physical and mental energy, only to find the bank account resets to zero by the end of the month. Millions of people spend their entire lives working to make someone else rich, simply because they were never taught the underlying structural rules of how money actually operates. The default system relies on a very specific manual exchange rate. You hand over an hour of your life, and you receive a set number of dollars in return. This equation shows time equaling money. The problem here is that human time is strictly finite. You only have 24 hours in a day. Because of that hard limit on the input, your earning potential hits an absolute unbreakable ceiling. You cannot escape this cycle by putting in more hours. You have to step back and re-engineer exactly how your income is generated in the first place. Income comes in two forms. The first is an active input, like a salary or a freelancing gig. This is completely manual. The exact second you stop typing, building, or moving, the cash flow halts. The second form is an automated input, like rental income, stock dividends, or royalties. This operates and generates yield entirely independently of your physical presence. You can be asleep, on vacation, or sick, and the engine keeps running. Relying entirely on manual input leaves you highly vulnerable. If your energy drops, survival is threatened. The automated system requires 0 daily calories to maintain its momentum. The wealthy avoid relying on larger paychecks from their manual labor. They systematically buy and build automated inputs, separating their financial security entirely from their physical lifespan. To build those automated inputs, you have to utilize the system's core algorithmic processor, compound interest. It operates very differently from traditional saving. Starting with 100 rupees at 10%, year 1 gives 110, year 2 yields 121, year 3 hits 133. Zooming out reveals the exponential effect. By year 30, the money multiplies rapidly, creating a massive gap between savings and the system's output. Albert Einstein reportedly recognized this phenomenon, identifying it as one of the most powerful and relentless mathematical forces in finance. Without harnessing this exponential multiplier, out-earning inflation and lifestyle costs relies entirely on your own unsustainable physical labor. To feed that compounding algorithm, we have to strip away the complex accounting jargon and look at assets and liabilities simply as directional flow regulators. A liability acts as a systemic leak, continuously pumping resources out of your central machine. Watch what happens when we shift to assets. Stocks, real estate, and businesses function as secondary engines. They capture external resources and pump them right back into your system. People who build wealth simply restrict those outward leaks. They take their excess active income and use it to purchase these secondary asset engines. We are often told that financial freedom means hitting a specific net worth milestone or collecting expensive status symbols. That is a myth. This graph maps out the actual mathematical threshold. You have a flat horizontal line representing your fixed living expenses and a rising exponential curve representing your asset yield. Freedom is the exact moment your continuous passive income crosses above your living costs. Once you cross that specific point, you permanently decouple your survival from the requirement to trade your time for a salary. Because this entire engine relies so heavily on time to allow the math to compound, the date you turn the machine on matters far more than the amount of capital you start with. Anyone can learn to operate these systemic rules from zero. If you want to start building your engine, subscribe now, because in the next video, we will cover the biggest financial lesson missing from traditional education.